This week in the show, we're talking Quentin Tarantino's ninth film, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Stick around for Tarantino's latest attempt at rewriting history, the insane true story of the Manson family, and our takes on Tarantino's best films. I'm David.
And I'm Caolan.
And this is Two Men the Podcast.
Hi and welcome to the podcast. You're here with David and Caolan on Bounty Law. David, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm alright. I had a bit of a weird night last night, actually.
Right.
So I was going into work at like 6 and decided, I'll grab a can of Monster because I was kind of tired. And then I didn't end up drinking it till like 8 o'clock. So I got home and I said, on this Tarantino vibe, so I watched Jackie Brown. And then it's like 1 o'clock in the morning at this point, and I just stick on YouTube. And I swear to God, I clicked on a video about Alex Telles.
Right.
The guy who signed for United.
Brand new United starlet, yes.
Yeah. Cut to 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm on like this third video of just like proving Nessie is real.
Oh, yes.
I don't believe in Nessie at all. Nessie's such bullshit. Like, I believe in Bigfoot, I believe in the Yogo Pogo, I believe in the Yahweh, the Yeti, all this stuff, but not Nessie. Nessie's bullshit.
Such a great story, though.
It's a good story, but it's just such bullshit. But yeah, I got convinced last night because, I just got caught down a YouTube hole watching Nessie videos, and all at the same time, I'm just falling apart in Football Manager. Crystal Palace just collapsing as per fucking usual. So, yeah.
Yeah, I've been down a YouTube hole myself.
Yeah.
I remember there was once a time I ended up, don't know where I started, don't know how I got there, but I do remember an episode of the top 10 roads in Pakistan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
It's good shit, yeah. It's
my go-to, if I'm like trying to get down a YouTube hole, is 10 Mysteries in Our Ocean We Can't Explain.
Yeah, that will kick you off.
That's a classic.
Yeah. Or, I have a big fascination with, no matter how many times they use the same clip, I have a real fascination with game show answers.
Yes. Oh, I love them. Family Feud.
Yeah, Family Feud, or like any of the like Bullseye or something, like any old show from Challenge. It's fantastic.
So good. Oh, Takeshi's Castle compilations.
Oh, Takeshi, and it's Takeshi's Castle, and with like there's a video with Takeshi's Castle, but with the Fall Guys music over it.
Sweet.
And it's perfect. It's perfection. So Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah. What do you think?
Oh, I'm on record as I love this film so much.
I really like it. I don't think it's Tarantino's best.
We'll get to that at the end.
We will be doing a ranking.
We will rank them all. I just wanted to, because it came out in 2019.
Yeah.
So it's not too old. So I just wanted to. We'll have a quick spoiler-free section.
Basically, it's about Sharon Tate's murder 6 months before the Tate-LaBianca Murders. Yeah. Where Sharon Tate was murdered.
Yeah. As you may guess from the
from the Tate-LaBianca Murders headline.
It stars Rick Dalton,
who
is Leonardo DiCaprio, Brad Pitt as Cliff Booth, and Margot Robbie as the aforementioned Tate. It's really good. I think anyone who hasn't seen it yet, which admittedly probably isn't, anyone interested in a Tarantino film has seen it.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Because you kind of know what you're getting with Tarantino, but I would recommend. I'm sure there's someone that's going to want to listen to this and not have seen it. I recommend, please watch.
Yeah, because even what I really loved is like almost the cameo roles everyone has, and they're so good. Al Pacino, fantastic in it.
Schwartz.
Kurt Russell is I don't know what he is. He's some producer or something. He's brilliant.
He is,
and he's also the narrator.
Randy.
Yeah. And the dog's Brandy.
The dog is Brandy. Yeah.
Yeah, I got really confused with rewatching that. I was like, he's like, oh yeah, no, your man's friends with Randy. And he's like, is that his dog?
No, it is. Yeah, Randy's in
it. Damian Lewis was in it for one scene. He plays Steve McQueen at the party with Margot Robbie, and I just love him. He was in Homeland. That's his big thing.
It's a very drop-in cameo. You could easily do without it.
Yeah,
like it gives you the.
But what I liked about that is I didn't know this at the time, but Rick Dalton, Leonardo DiCaprio's character, is Steve McQueen essentially. Yeah. So they were both on this show. He was on Bounty Law, and Steve McQueen was on Wanted Dead or Alive. And during breaks between seasons, Rick Dalton and Steve McQueen went off and did films. Rick Dalton did these films that all flopped, and he got Bounty Law cancelled essentially. And meanwhile, Steve McQueen went off and did The Magnificent Seven. He became a movie star. So it was kind of like a parallel to them, and that's why I liked the cameo, especially once I knew about the kind of parallel between the two of them.
But there's some great characters to show up for like one scene maybe. Bruce Lee is in this film. She's gonna kill me for saying this, but I watched it again with Megan, my significant other, and she thought that they had done a really good job aging down Bruce Lee. who famously died in 1973.
Did you have to break the news to her?
I broke the news to her. She could not believe it. I think she was thinking of Jackie Chan when she described it.
Yeah.
And I was like, no.
He's definitely still alive.
Yeah.
Also, on a completely different note, but have you seen that movie, The Foreigner, with Jackie Chan?
No.
The villain of the movie is just Jerry Adams. Like, he's an ex-member of the IRA who's now a politician, and it's just Pierce Brosnan cosplaying as Jerry Adams. Please side note, but yeah, look,
I have seen
brilliant.
Exactly one movie starring Jackie Chan, and it is Shanghai Noon.
Okay, fair.
Oh, Rush Hour too, actually, yeah. No, okay, maybe I've seen a couple of Jackie Chan films, but right, back to the film we're on.
Yeah.
So a quick spoiler thing, just watch it. Yeah, I would say it's a must-watch for any Tarantino fan.
Oh, definitely.
And if you haven't seen it, please leave, come back when you've seen it.
Yeah.
I want to jump straight into the ending, David.
Oh, okay, yeah, I do love the ending.
That's why I waited specifically to let people know that there was a spoiler-free section. The end is so good.
It's brilliant.
It's like a fever dream.
Yeah.
When the family burst in.
Oh.
And we look back to the family.
Yeah. I've got plenty on the family.
Yeah, we look back to the family just because we can go down 6,000 tangents.
Yeah.
But when Brandy, when the family come in, you kind of think, oh, Cliff Booth could die here.
Yeah.
Because
he smoked a cigarette dipped in acid. Also, if anyone gives you a cigarette that looks like that, I don't care if you want to do acid. Don't smoke it. Because do you know what that looks like? When I was working Ridley's for about 6 weeks, Beggsy pulled a cigarette that was sitting underneath the toilet.
Robert Beggs, friend of the pod.
Yeah, friend of the podcast, Robert Beggs, pulled a cigarette that was sitting underneath the sink in Ridley's bathrooms for about 6 months and offered to me and said, I'll give you my week's wages if you smoke that. And I said no.
Yeah, shocker, because David, our week's wages were not very much.
Yeah, exactly.
He might as well have offered you to buy food.
Yeah,
because
pretty much.
No. It doesn't look good.
No.
No matter how many times you tell me it'll get you fucked up, I don't give a shit.
I don't want to shit. No, I don't want anything near that.
Doesn't look good. I don't like it. And I don't like Brad Pitt for doing it. Even just holding a fag that colour is enough to give me dreams. You never wash that off.
Oh, no.
No amount of washing gets that off.
His hands are stained.
Yeah.
So you see like someone who's been smoking for like 40 years has kind of yellow stained fingers. That's his hands are just touching that.
Yeah, it's horrible. Leo at the back with his rehearsal track in, chilling in the pool, drinking his fucking whiskey sours.
And then, it was margaritas.
It's the margaritas, he makes the margaritas.
And then the fucking flamethrower.
You know, when he uses it in what's the film called?
The 14
Fists of McCluskey, yeah. When he uses it there, it looks so cool, and I was like, please bring it back.
Yeah.
Please.
Oh, it's brilliant.
It's very, very good. And I specifically noted the most adorable thing ever is when Brandy hears the gunshot beside her when she's attacking Sadie.
Francesca.
She just scatters and knocks on the door and lets Francesca. Oh, it's great.
She's hilarious as well, Francesca. You're on the place, Francesca.
Francesca, yeah. Fucking come into my fucking house. Yeah, Francesca's great. Brandy is great.
Also, another one who has, literally, she's in one scene is Zoe Bell, who was Uma Thurman's stunt double in Kill Bill.
Yeah.
And she's Kurt Russell's wife. She's in one scene and she's hilarious.
The one who tells Cliff to take off the wardrobe and get the fuck off my set.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's very good. Right, I'm not going to go, because I know we want to go back into the Manson stuff, and we can kind of start back at the beginning.
Yeah.
I just had to jump in because the ending's maybe my favourite thing. Al Pacino as Schwartz. Trying to get Rick Dalton to star in Italian fucking movies.
Yeah.
In spaghetti westerns, yeah. Pacino's so good.
Oh,
he's in this film for what, maybe 8 minutes altogether?
Yeah, 2 scenes.
2 scenes. If even 8 minutes, actually. But he almost steals it. He's so good.
Oh, he's fantastic.
Now, Pacino being great is hardly a revolutionary thing. The first heard here. Pacino, good. But I just think him and Tarantino are like a match made.
Yeah. I think it's a lot of it. He gets a lot of the Tarantino actors.
Oh, yeah.
Kurt Russell's another one. He's the narrator as well, and I just love his voice.
The narrator I actually did mark down in my swathes of notes that I'm not going to get to. The voiceover's weird, because when it corrects Rick at the start...
Yeah.
You kind of think it's like a...
Yeah.
It almost sets up like a Scorsese thing where he has the narrator the whole way through.
Yeah, and it's just...
But it goes away then. It doesn't come back until...
He goes
to Italy, yeah. Which I thought was a bit weird. It's maybe my one thing is I don't know that... I don't like the halfway point between the narrator.
Yeah.
I think if you're going to have the narrator...
Commit it or don't.
Do it.
Yeah.
I get having someone talk for the Tate stuff because it kind of sets the scene. But I didn't really... Especially... Because if you have the narrator, that pointless exposition scene with Steve McQueen doesn't need to happen, really.
I think he just wants Damian Lewis.
Oh, he definitely wants him in it, but you got to make a choice. You can't force exposition and still have a narrator.
Yeah.
One would cancel the other. That was my one thing, maybe, that I found pretty weird.
Thing that I just didn't really like about the film, half the scenes with Sharon Tate felt so unnecessary.
See, you say that.
She shouldn't have been top billing, Margot Robbie. Even, like, with the film as is, she shouldn't be top billing because she's barely in the film.
Yeah.
And I think let's be real here, half the scenes with Sharon Tate are so Tarantino can get a camera on those feet.
Yeah, I'll come back to Margot Robbie in a second, but he's got to the point now where he's so comfortable with his fetish that he doesn't even sneak it in. Like, it's not
because I watched Jackie Brown last night, and there's like one scene where girl puts her feet up on the table and the camera's there. Yeah. Like one scene. It was like every third scene, it was like close up of feet.
But even in scenarios where I don't think the feet would be out, like when they come back from the Playboy Mansion.
Why did she have her feet off in the fucking cinema? Yeah.
When she comes back from when she's hung over the next day after the Playboy Mansion, that makes sense. And if that had been the only one where her feet were in it, maybe because she's in bed, it's understandable because you're going from the feet up. It's Margot Robbie, so you kind of show her off a wee bit.
Yeah.
But
also,
in the cinema,
that scene was just so unnecessary. The
Pussycat's filthy feet up on the dash of Brad Pitt's car.
Oh well, that I get how that like fits in because she's a fucking hippie.
Yeah, but it's so forced in. Dude.
Oh, it is. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
She's wearing shoes when she gets into the car. It's not even like she's barefoot. She takes them off specifically to show you her feet. And I would have swore, there's the entire family has their feet out. Admittedly, understandably but it's more feet, David.
There's like we're not.
I don't even think it's women feet, David. I think it's just feet.
Oh, it's just feet, yeah.
Yeah,
like we're not king shaming, but you look at Joss Whedon. He's got a foot thing, but he does it a lot more subtly.
Yeah, I've no problem with the foot fetish. It's the gross mismanagement of female feet that I don't like.
Yeah.
Put some shoes on these damn women. But yeah, back to your original point about Margot Robbie's toes. I think what it does is, and I noted it for the end, but it shows I think it's essential to show a happy side to Sharon Tate.
Yeah.
It more tries to push the narrative that she's not just a Manson victim.
Yeah.
Which is what she will always be as far as most people are concerned. It's like...
Yeah, and also it kind of did cut between... So like the morning after the party where it's just... Like, it's a essentially wordless scene of Margot Robbie in bed and then Roman Polanski sitting in the back garden. And, like, that felt so unnecessary. But at the same time, it then cuts to Rick and Cliff driving into the movie set. So it's kind of like comparing the two.
Yeah,
so I get that.
I do think it's essential to just show Tate like this.
Yeah, but I think they could have done it with so much less. Like, I have here, the party scene was good. The morning after the party where it's just like her feet and then Peter Polanski sitting in the back garden. I didn't need that. The cinema scene, I think, was unnecessary.
No, the cinema scene is one of my favourite scenes.
Oh, yeah, no, but I like her seeing the thing in the cinema, going into the bookstore, and then going into the cinema. But I think it just went on too long with her in the cinema. Like, I didn't need to see that much of the
I just think I don't agree. I actually think she's not in it as much as I would like.
Oh, no, like, I would love to see more of her, but it's the fact that the scenes she's in, they just don't add anything to it.
Yeah, I get that, but I don't know what you can... I don't know that he could do much more.
Yeah.
Like, what really, in the story he's telling, and there was more planned for her, but I don't know really what you could squeeze her into there. Because it's still Sharon Tate. It's not Cliff Booth where you can add stuff, really.
Actually, there's a leaked fake ending to this movie, I read this, where the Mansons did go up to Sharon Tate's, and Bruce Lee was still there, because in the movie he's practicing fighting with Jay Sebring.
Yeah.
So, he's still there, and Cliff and Rick go up and they all fight off the Manson family together, and Sharon Tate was going to use the kung fu she learned for the wrecking ball, and I'm really glad that was fake.
Yeah, I wouldn't have liked that. No, just her being oblivious to the Manson murders is more.
Yeah, like the scene where Manson calls to the house looking for Terry Melcher. That was inaccurate, first of all, because he is actually turned away by the groundkeeper.
But it's that's not as fun as.
Yeah, no, exactly. But
I just felt like
I just felt like it was unnecessary. Like I don't think they could have easily just put like a smaller actor in the role of Sharon Tate, and like that scene where Manson's going up the door, you could have shown that from Cliff's perspective, and it would have been like the same effect.
No, I don't agree.
I just feel that it feels like he's trying to do the intertwining stories thing with stories that don't intertwine at all.
Yeah, see, I do agree that they don't interact maybe as much. Maybe I don't know what you could add really. I I do think Margot Robbie's the best choice because...
Yeah, fair. But I don't think she should have been top billing.
She is a top actor.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't think it's more about...
But that's what I'm saying, like...
I think you're way more concerned about this top billing thing than I am.
Yeah, because she's not, like, a main character in the movie.
Well, she is.
She's not.
Well, she is.
Her story adds nothing to it. It's
that's irrelevant.
It's like a Shaggy Dog story.
She's not Snoopy here. Like, she is... Like, you can't have a movie about Hollywood in 1969 with Manson family and not have Sharon Tate.
Yeah, but you could have had Sharon Tate, but, like...
I don't understand why this top billing thing is really what's annoying you.
Because... The top billing suggests she's like an integral part of this film. You could have cut half the scenes, and because you remember there was people giving out about her not having like as many lines as the other top billed actors.
Yeah,
and like there's a point to that because she essentially has as much or is as big as impact on this film as Kurt Russell, and Kurt Russell wasn't top bill. So like you should have had starring Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio with Margot Robbie, Kurt Russell. All these people.
No, because he can't degrade her to that level either.
But that's her role in the film. That's what I'm saying.
It's irrelevant.
It's not irrelevant.
It is irrelevant. Because I assume the idea of putting Margot Robbie top billing is to attract people to Margot Robbie.
Yeah, no, I get that.
And you can't make Sharon Tate... I can't stress this enough. You can't make Sharon Tate the side story.
She is the side story,
But she is... But you can't make her Kurt Russell.
But even when she's the main story, her story's just there. It's like it's almost a distraction to the main film.
What?
It's because it's like the main film is Cliff and Rick and what they get up to, and then it's like there's this side story. It's like almost like if it was a TV show, then the Sharon Tate episodes would be filler episodes.
Yeah, no, I'll give you that. I do think you could maybe cut them, but I just think they're so pure.
Yeah, no, I get that, but you could have done that with.
I just think I like the scenes more, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, like it's like I just
think you need the uplift.
I think it's like it's a 2-hour 40 film. You easily could have cut 20 minutes off that.
But I don't want Margot Robbie. I want more of those scenes. I don't want less.
You're on the Tarantino boat now. Show me as much of Margot Robbie's feet as you can.
Yeah, show me more feet. Like if you had all her scenes from the ankle down and just had her talking above the camera, I would love that.
Yeah, okay.
We'll settle on that. We'll do the exact same scenes, but with only her feet.
Yeah, okay, right.
And maybe add a toe.
Another scene I loved was the Green Hornet scene, where he's fighting Bruce Lee.
Yeah, that is, I have a thing, that's fantastic. Where he's like, I actually have wrote it down, my hands are classified as lethal weapons, so if we fight and I kill you, I go to jail. Anybody accidentally kills someone in a fight, they go to jail. It's called manslaughter.
And I don't know why it's so much funnier, but it doesn't cut to Cliff, it pans to Cliff.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, but it makes it so much fucking funnier.
I think it is hilarious. I saw Bruce Lee's, I want to say,
his daughter.
Yeah. Complains about how they make Bruce Lee look like
really cocky.
The jackass cocky. I feel like she has so blatantly missed the boat here.
Yeah.
That it's just not what happened.
Yeah, this is...
I think she's completely missed that this isn't what actually happened.
Yeah.
I don't understand how... I understand her annoyance, but when I saw the controversy about it, I was like, have they watched the film or have they just seen the scene? Yeah. Because it's very clearly Brad Pitt has been in a fight with Bruce Lee, but I would stress that it's exaggerated. But from his perspective. The scene of him on the boat with his wife.
Oh, yeah.
Where she's... You don't want to fight? I'm in the mood to fucking fight.
Yeah.
He's just sitting with the harpoon gun aimed in her direction. It's so darkly hilarious.
I read a thing, and it was fucking screenwriter. Someone had an article, and they were saying like, "Oh, this is potentially a connection to Natalie Wood's death, who's allegedly killed by Robert Wagner, her husband." And I was kind of like, I don't really see the connection there. So I hit whatever source they had. And it was just another article that compared the two. And their source was just another article that compared the two.
It's just a rabbit hole of articles.
So there's no basis for that, but apparently, some people see that.
I think it's very good.
The scene where DiCaprio is... Where he didn't learn his lines, or he didn't know his lines.
Or he forgets.
And he starts yelling, he's like, anyway, I'm quitting drinking. And then the next cut is just him like taking the sip of his flask and then chucking it out the door. I love that. It was absolutely brilliant.
Couldn't stop at 3 or 4. I had 8 fucking whiskey sour.
Oh, I love them.
I kept taking lines, but I realised that the more lines I had, it just got way too many.
You were just writing.
I just got out of hand pretty much. Yeah, I just pretty much have the screenplay in my. But or he's like, He stares at himself in the mirror and says, "If you don't get these lines right, I'm gonna blow your head all over. I'm gonna blow your brains all over this goddamn pool."
I fucking love it. He's so
good. And I want to. I'll let you go because
I was just gonna say DiCaprio in general.
Yeah, I'll knock it off DiCaprio just yet because I want to change.
Oh yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, the scene with Oliphant.
Yeah,
who is Timothy Oliphant is fantastic. I love Oliphant. And I imagine I'm in the minority of loving him from Santa Clarita Diet.
I hate that show so
I don't think many people look at that and think it's his best role, but Oliphant's so good.
Yeah.
The scene where him and Dalton are in, that's their acting scene.
Yeah.
I almost forgot we were watching the film.
Yeah.
I would have been very happy if they just showed that episode of the show for 3 hours.
Yeah.
I think it's ridiculously, until he says line, you get swept up.
Oh yeah.
And then the second part of the acting with Julia Butters. Is it Julia Butters? I wrote her name down here. The child actor.
Yeah.
I just don't want to get her wrong. Yeah, Julia Butters.
And Luke Perry, the late Luke Perry.
Luke Perry's last ever feature film.
Yeah.
Before he tragically died.
Oh, it was released
4 months before this film came out. But yeah, the scene with Julia Butters and where Rick has the child on his lap and he's threatening to kill her.
Oh, it was kidnapping's a capital charge. And he's just kind of laughing. He pulls a gun. He's so blows the little girl's head off.
You can only hang me once.
Yeah. Oh.
It's very good.
And I read a thing that Tarantino and DiCaprio decided that he was undiagnosed bipolar throughout the film.
Right.
So it's never said, but essentially Rick Dalton
it's his tick. Yeah.
Yeah, mentally ill essentially.
Which screams.
Yeah.
Obvious. Yeah.
Yeah.
You would read that. Yeah. I just want to wax lyrical on Leonardo DiCaprio for a second.
Yeah.
He is so great.
He's incredible
in almost everything he's in.
Yeah,
it's a federal crime that The Revenant is
what he got the fucking Oscar
which is maybe his most boring film.
Yeah, Titanic.
Yeah, okay, maybe, but he's good in Titanic. I don't think he does anything in The Revenant that I couldn't do. Really, it's just grunting.
Yeah, this he's much better than The Revenant. Inception, he's much better than The
Shutter Island, he's better.
Shutter Island.
Wolf of Wall Street, he's fantastic. He's got so many, even The Aviator and Blood Diamond, I take.
Yeah, and Django Unchained, he's much better than the.
Yeah, it's not even his best Tarantino film.
Yeah.
Oh well,
Revenant's not a Tarantino film.
I actually think it is his best. Yeah, I know. I got it mixed up. I was gonna say Once Upon a Time isn't even his best, but I think it is. But yeah.
Also, Brad Pitt is fantastic in this movie.
Yeah, I was just about to get on to Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt is. I think this is the best I've seen Brad Pitt in. Maybe since Seven, maybe.
Yeah.
Probably. I think it's his best film that isn't Seven.
I can't think of anything. He was.
It's definitely the best of older Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
He's in Moneyball and he's great. But
yeah, actually.
I don't know that it's the same type of
acting
you're asking of him.
Yeah, it's much more. He gives much more to this than he does to Moneyball.
He's insanely good in this. Actually, I remember coming out of me and I'm gonna name drop Glenn Conley here. Nice. Me and Glenn went to see. I can't remember what it was. Little Women maybe in cinema. And on our way back, we argued the whole way down about who was the actual star of this film.
Oh, okay, not of
Little Women. Okay. And I will die on the hill that Brad Pitt steals this film from DiCaprio, even though DiCaprio is so good. I just think Cliff Booth, his story is way more interesting.
Cliff Booth to Rick Dalton.
Yeah, maybe the performance isn't what I'm saying. Yeah. But I think Cliff Booth is by far the most interesting part of this film.
If I had a choice to watch what Cliff was up to for a day or what Rick was up to for a day, Cliff.
No matter how good Dalton's acting scenes are,
yeah,
Cliff Booth. And the scene I want to go on to now with the Manson family is just insane. The complete tonal shift in Once Upon a Time when he gets to Spawn Ranch and it almost becomes like a Chainsaw Massacre type slow build horror movie. When he's walking towards, when I think Gypsy comes out first to get. Yeah. It's Gypsy comes to meet them first. Pussycat and
brings him out to Gypsy and Tex, and then he goes up to the house with Squeaky and all them in it.
Yeah, as he walks towards Gypsy, and the entire family is just hanging out of saloon doors and cars, and there's dogs walking around. You're just waiting on Leatherface to burst out the top door. Yeah. I was actually waiting on him to change history again. Yeah. Just add Leatherface to the Manson family. Her disappointment that Charlie's not there. Yeah. I so feel it. Oh. I was waiting on a Cliff Booth, Charlie Manson link up. It would have been... That's my dream. Especially because I had seen in the build-up that...
Damon Harriman.
Damon Herman, who plays Marilyn Manson, who plays Charles Manson twice in a year.
Yeah, he played him in Mindhunter
as well. Season 2 as well.
I actually watched that episode last week. He's so good.
He is so good. They should never have anyone do Manson in anything else ever. Even the documentaries. Forget about any footage you have of Manson.
And I assumed that Damon Herman's like tiny because he's been cast as Charlie Manson twice in a year.
Yeah,
but he's like 5'7".
Yeah,
which isn't tiny.
Yeah, it is. He is Manson to me.
Yeah.
If you put his face on the Manson books, I wouldn't even argue. No, I wouldn't even argue with you. But yeah, Cliff walking up to the house looking for George and just cutting between Cliff walking and Squeaky getting the information.
Yeah,
it's so tense, especially because Cliff is an added character, so you think he could die here and no one there'd be no questions. Squeaky is an interesting character herself in that.
Or is this in real life Squeaky?
Yeah, real life Squeaky. Yeah, I'll let us go down our wee Manson tangent for a while.
Will we go down that now?
Yeah, Squeaky. I just want to Squeaky real quick. Dakota Fanning plays her.
Yeah,
she's just as intimidating as she is in real life. Yeah. Not Dakota Fanning. But I always found it funny that she, as one of the most prominent members of the Manson family, does go to jail for attempted murder, but not for anything to do with the Manson murders. She tries to assassinate Gerald Ford.
Yeah. Former US President.
President Gerald Ford. She's still madly in love with Charles Manson.
Yeah.
And during his trial was one of the many members that sat outside and carved X's onto their forehead and body.
Swastikas. That's a swastika on Charles Manson's forehead.
Yeah, on Charles Manson's, but on Squeaky's it was an X.
Oh, okay, it was just an X, right. Yeah, about Squeaky as well. She went to high school with Phil Hartman, who was in The Simpsons as Lionel Hutz and Troy McClure. Is she still alive? She's currently...
Squeaky, yeah.
Yeah, she's currently serving a life sentence for attempted assassination of Gerald Ford.
Yeah, Squeaky is... She wrote a book that I
think everyone wrote a book from
the Manson family. But I'm very interested in Squeaky's book because the people who have come out of the Manson family tend to disavow the notion that they were so in love with Manson and that he bossed them around, or try to cut ties with him. Yeah. Squeaky's the exact opposite. Is still fighting the camp. Oh yeah. I'm really interested in Squeaky's.
The 3 that went to the house were
the 4.
Oh yeah, the 4. We're going to Flower Girl, who's played by Flower Child. She was only in the Manson family for a month before these murders, and she didn't run away in real life. She basically, but she sat in the car.
Yeah, she was,
and then she was a key witness.
Yeah.
There was Big Paddy, who I think they call Katie in the.
Yeah, she's Katie in the film.
Big Paddy, who was the one who wrote Death to Pigs, Helter Skelter, because she misspelled Helter Skelter. Yeah. Described by many people as the hairiest, largest woman they've ever met. And she was the one who initially killed Folger, the heiress of the coffee empire. Then you had Sadie.
Sexy Sadie.
Yeah. She was a dropout. She was apparently relatively intelligent before she met Manson, because she dropped out of school and just drifted around with criminals, got arrested for armed robbery, and she
was a stripper.
Yeah, she got away with probation and became a stripper. And she was the one that made the connection between the Beatles wanting to start the race war.
Yeah.
So I'll get onto that in a bit, because I want to talk about Tex Walker. Tex Watson.
Yeah, but Sadie stresses that she believed Manson was a psychic because he could tell that her drifting around meant that she had been ostracized from her family. It screams the level of intelligence in some of these Manson girls. Not intelligence, maybe gullible.
Yeah, the gullibility
is maybe the
better term. Tex Watson they call him the All-American Pawn because he was this college kid, football player. He was a fucking idiot. They had this other guy called Indian Joe, who was a Native American, and he was making tea with belladonna, which is this really powerful hallucinogen. And apparently if you have a cup of this tea, you will be tripping balls for weeks. You'll feel the effects weeks later. He walks into the kitchen, high on acid or something, sees Indian Joe cooking this, sticks his hand in the boiling pot and just eats the belladonna root. And he was just never the same.
No.
He walked out the door and they found him a week later crawling around in the desert. He was completely fucked. And he's now a priest.
Yeah, he's a registered minister.
Yeah, he's got his own website called aboundinglove.org. And I read his bio, and apparently, do you know what he does? He reaches out to people and tries to convert them to Christianity. Can you imagine a man who stabbed pregnant Sharon Tate, 16 times? Stabbed your one Folger 28 times and stabbed Frykowski 51 times.
And tied, not to get too graphic really, but
Yeah, he also shot Jay Sebring and stabbed him 7 times.
And tied him to Sharon Tate over a board.
Yeah.
He's not exactly the ideal priest, I can imagine. You don't want him christening no child.
No. He's repeatedly attempted to get parole, and I think over the years there's been 2 million signatures on petitions to stop him getting parole, organised mainly by Sharon Tate's sister, I think.
Of course.
Which deservedly. But the whole Helter Skelter thing is fucking nuts.
It's fascinating.
It's complete horseshit for most of it. It's I forget what his name was, but the prosecutor basically had that Charlie Manson had this big master plan that he was going to start a race war. Charlie Manson saw the family kind of slipping away, and he just came up with the race war.
It's Vincent Bugliosi.
So basically, they were going to go out to the desert. They were converting VW Beetles into dune buggies, which, no respect for Manson, but that's fucking cool.
It is cool, yeah. It's one of them that you can't really do now because it implies Manson.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a really cool idea, yeah.
But this wasn't even his idea. This was this guy Krishna Venta's idea. So Manson came up with none of this. He literally just started panicking and said, "Oh yeah, the race war's coming. We gotta defend ourselves in the race war." His idea was they were all going to hide in the desert. The black Muslims were going to win the race war. And then, again, this is Manson's idea. The black people wouldn't know how to govern themselves. So they would go out to the desert and ask Manson and his family to lead them.
Yeah, his threat was that the black people were too strong to fight against, but too dumb to actually rule the world. Yeah. So they'd come back to him.
So this all kicked off when this guy called Bobby Boussier got arrested for killing Gary Hinman, who was a drug dealer. And this is so
the Hinman murders just as interesting. So funny. Yeah. So I don't want to get stuck on a Manson tangent because we'll sit for an hour and talk about this.
So Boussier and I think Sadie went to try and rob him, and he wasn't giving them any money because he didn't have any money. And they called Charlie, and Charlie shows up with a blade taped to a plank of wood and decides to show, and this is a direct quote from Charles Manson, he decides to show him his oriental swordsmanship. He cuts off Hinman's ear and stitches it back on and tells them not to kill him.
Yeah.
So they come back half an hour later with Hinman dead. And then essentially the Tate-LaBianca murders were to cover up, which proved Bobby Boussier innocent.
Yeah, the exact details on the Hinman murders tend to vary.
Yeah.
The general consensus, is that Manson came to cut his ear off.
Yeah.
And then whether or not you believe anyone in particular, Manson either rang them and told him to kill him, told him that he knew what to do, or said nothing at all, depending on who you ask.
Yeah.
But the general consensus is that Manson got Bobby to kill him.
I don't think so.
I think so.
No, I think Bobby did it by himself.
Oh, no, you're definitely wrong.
No.
Manson tells Bobby, you know what to do.
Oh, yeah, no, I'd say he definitely told him you know what to do. I definitely think he did not mean kill him.
Oh, he definitely meant to kill him.
No, they just wanted money. Because that was their whole thing. They were just looking for money. No.
At the start, but at that stage, I just think Manson knows he's too deep and can't.
Oh, I don't think Manson knows where he is at this stage.
Oh, no.
I don't think he didn't intend for him to kill Hinman. He definitely intended to kill the Tate-LaBiancas. But, no, I think he just didn't know what was going on. And Bob Boussier was, they're all tripping at it 24 hours a day.
Yeah, they're all.
So, and then they make it look like it was done by the Black Panthers, because this was...
Well, the idea is to make it look like it was... They don't really make it look like it was done by them.
They didn't. No one thought it was the Black Panthers.
To make it look like the Black Panther.
And that was probably Sadie, because Sadie was the one who was big on Helter Skelter and the Beatles' White Album being about the race war.
Yeah, and Sadie and Mary Brunner write it on the walls.
But
he's not the brightest.
No.
He gets caught driving across country to get rid of the car.
Yeah.
But he's caught in the car.
Asleep with the murder weapon.
Well, no, he's not caught asleep. He pretends to be asleep. He gets caught with the car with the murder weapon in the back and thinks if he pretends to be asleep, they'll think he just found the car and slept in it. So he does that. Doesn't work, obviously.
Yeah, shockingly.
And then to try and get him off with it, they go ahead and do the LaBianca murders, the Tate murders. Yeah, we'll not go too far down this well.
No, I think we'll leave that there.
We'll leave Manson at that. We might do a Manson episode someday. Yeah. Sounds like a lot of fun. But a lot of fun is maybe not the right term. So just one last thing I wanted to add on the film altogether. Have you any last thoughts?
That's pretty much all my notes.
I just wanted to add the very last scene after Cliff Booth and Rick Dalton and all have killed Watson, Crime Michael, all those. When Dalton goes in with Sebring to Tate's house to party, it's like it's an uplifting note to end on.
Yeah.
But it's a bit melancholic, maybe.
Yeah.
Because
in real life,
it's a glimpse at what could have been
Yeah.
for Sharon Tate. It's a brighter yet heartbreaking end.
Yeah.
It really stokes the. I got emotional watching it, and it's not even. I imagine not the idea.
Oh, okay. I didn't, because I was not interested at all in the Sharon Tate story.
Yeah, I know. Maybe it's just because I've dug myself down a well in the last year with Manson. It's a heartbreaking end. Yeah. So to brighter notes, maybe, David. Yeah. We had an argument. Maybe not an argument, but we had a discussion last week about
disagreement.
A violent disagreement of show where we hit each other hard.
Yeah.
About Tarantino's best films. So we agreed both do a top 5 list.
Yeah.
Neither of us have seen the other one.
No.
And we're going to run down from
5 to 1.
Our 50. Yeah, we're going to run from 5 to 1. Me and you's going to say our 5. We're going to drop it. We're
going to try to.
We'll talk a little bit about it because we'll probably cover most of these films at some stage anyway. So start us. So what's your number 5?
My number 5 is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Okay, yeah, we'll not need to talk too much about.
Yeah.
Once Upon a Time does feature on both of our top 5.
Okay, yeah.
Fine. We'll not need to talk too much about that one. I juggled in my head here. I think Tarantino is really tough to break down in a top 5.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no doubt.
So even the films that are off it, it's not that I dislike them.
Oh yeah,
I actually really love Jackie Brown, but it doesn't make my list. Okay. I have it written down, Jackie Brown / Kill Bill for number 5. But I'm going to go with Kill Bill just because we agreed beforehand to lump Kill Bill
1 and 2
as one film.
Yeah.
Because if it was split into 2 films, I don't think it'd make my list.
Yeah, and if it was split into mine, 2 of my entries would be Kill Bill Volume 2, Kill Bill.
If we did Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2, Jackie Brown would have made my list.
Okay.
Because I don't think either Kill Bill film works as well without the other.
Yeah.
I think the first one is great. Just brutal violence the way through.
I love it.
But without the payoff then in the second film,
yeah,
I don't think the first one lands as hard.
That's fair.
So if we lump them together, I will put Kill Bill at number 5. Although I do love Jackie Brown.
Speaking of Jackie Brown, it's my number 4.
Yeah, so I wasn't going to drop too much on Jackie Brown.
I'm not going to go into too much detail, but brilliant. Samuel Jackson is the highlight of this.
As he is wont to be.
He's such a dipshit in this film. Like, he's got the ponytail, he's got like the little rat tail tied into his beard. He walks around with a beret. He's just like the holy trinity of being a dipshit.
Jackie Brown is a very good pick.
Yeah, what's your number 4?
Samuel L. Jackson also stars in my number 4, which is Pulp Fiction.
Well, Pulp Fiction's my number 3, so.
Right, so we'll just have a little. I love Pulp Fiction.
I love Pulp Fiction.
I bounced it between 4 and 2.
Yeah.
Just because I think we could do this film again. We could do this list again tomorrow, and I genuinely think
it could be different.
My 5 might switch all around.
Yeah.
Like Kill Bill could end up at number 1 on mine. Really, it's insane how hard I found it. I was still really doing it up until about 20 minutes before you called because I just find it really difficult. Pulp Fiction's great. I don't think we need to know. No one who's going to listen to this hasn't seen Pulp Fiction. Samuel L. Jackson's really good. John Travolta's only good performance apart from
what was that one he was in? Boogie Nights or something? Or Friday Night Lights?
Boogie Nights is one. What's the other one I'm thinking of? Grease.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking of Summer Lovin'. I was like, that's not the name of the film.
Yeah. That's the one where he looks like 40, isn't it?
Yeah. All films.
Sorry.
All films until he is 40 and then he looks 1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you like about Pulp Fiction, Dave?
Oh, it's just so wacky. And it's just, a highlight is, I won't give any away, but the scene where John Travolta accidentally shoots someone is...
Oh, it's hilarious.
It's brilliant.
I actually meant to mention that. Yeah, that is one of my favourite Tarantino scenes, I think.
It's fantastic.
David, you're going to give out to me here for number 3. Oh, wait, you had something to add there, did you?
No, Pulp Fiction's number 3.
Okay, yeah. My number 3 is Reservoir Dogs.
What? Really?
Yeah. When we talked last week, I had Reservoir Dogs at number 1.
Yeah.
But like I said, it could be 1 again tomorrow. It really changes.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm already kind of regretting not putting it a little higher.
Yeah.
3 and 2, I think I swapped maybe 4 times.
Okay, yeah.
I'm gonna I know you're gonna wax lyrical on Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah.
So I'll leave it till we get to you.
So my number 2 is Kill Bill. I just love it. It's a bit of everything really. It's kind of revenge slasher. There's a scene that's just an anime scene, which is great. Every performance in it is brilliant. Even the ones like Bill's only in the last 10 minutes of it.
Yeah, you feel a lot more strongly about Kill Bill than I do. I do love Kill Bill, but you have almost tattooed your body in Kill Bill. That's how much you love it. But I don't find it as. Although, like I said, it could change all the time.
Yeah. What's your number 2?
My number 2, and we have a few people wrote in with votes for their best Tarantino film. But Inglourious Basterds is my number 2.
Really?
Yeah. I don't think it's as good a film as Reservoir Dogs. I actually don't think my number 1's really as well made a film, maybe.
But it's a better Tarantino film.
Yeah, Inglourious Basterds is, and my number 1 is Tarantino at their absolute peak Tarantino.
Yeah, okay.
We had a few people write in with Inglourious Basterds as the best Tarantino film.
Yeah.
And I'll get to all the listener votes now in a second, but I just think Inglourious Basterds, I don't think there's much of an upgrade you can make on that story.
Yeah.
Like, that was my thinking, really, is Reservoir Dogs is an almost perfect film.
Yeah.
But if I wanted to improve it, I think I could.
Yeah.
If you give him a higher budget, I think he could improve it. Whereas I don't know what else he could do with Inglourious Basterds.
Yeah.
It's Colin Farrell is so good in Inglourious Basterds. Colin Farrell, yeah.
Is he in Inglourious Basterds?
Yeah. He is an Inglourious Bastard.
Is he?
Yeah.
Colin Farrell?
I might have the wrong name. No, I think, yeah. Yeah, no, he's definitely in it, yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Is he not?
I haven't watched this movie in a while, but no, he's not.
Is he not? Who am I thinking of?
I have no idea who you're thinking of. Brad Pitt?
I'm just going to look. That's really embarrassing. I'm going to look at the thing.
Pretty sure.
Who am I thinking of?
I have no idea.
Who's the bear?
Eli Roth.
Oh, Eli Roth.
Yeah. I got so confused.
How did I get Eli Roth and Colin Farrell?
I have no idea.
I've had it in my head for years that it's Colin Farrell.
No, it's definitely not Colin Farrell.
That shows you how long it's been since I've seen Inglourious Basterds. Yeah, Eli Roth, who I got him mixed up with. Then.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's my bad. Right, well, then Inglourious Basterds number 6 then. But, yeah, well, I think Inglourious Basterds is really good. I know you're number 1 and you know mine.
I'm going to assume yours is Once Upon a Time.
Mine is Once Upon a Time.
And mine is Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah.
I just love Reservoir Dogs.
Talk to me about Reservoir Dogs.
It's the only time Quentin Tarantino has starred in one of his own films that I haven't hated him for it. Every other film he's just so obnoxious in it, and this he's brilliant. Tim Roth is fantastic. Michael Madsen, I love Michael Madsen. That torture scene is so good.
Yeah, it's iconic.
It's brilliant.
You can't hear Stuck in the Middle with You and not.
No, absolutely not. And I guess it's probably his most grounded film.
Yeah, I love Reservoir Dogs a lot. But to me it's in the same camp as Jackie Brown, where I really like it, but I don't think it stands out as his most.
Yeah, because it doesn't really have a massive Tarantino.
Yeah, it'd be most actors' best film.
Yeah.
But I just think it doesn't have all the Tarantino.
Yeah.
When you think of Tarantino, I don't really think Reservoir Dogs. I think
Pulp Fiction.
I think Inglourious Basterds. I think Once Upon a Time. Even Kill Bill more so than I just think Once Upon a Time and Inglourious Basterds are more Tarantino, and that's what I based it on. I didn't really go best film.
Yeah.
I went with 1 my personal favourite and 2 my most Tarantino films. I assume I'm going to get in trouble with some of the people for saying Once Upon a Time is my favourite.
I think anything outside of Death Proof you could say is your favourite Tarantino film, and
people kind of accept it. Yeah. Just a quick, we solicited some opinions from the audience. Friends of the pod, Slugs, Kathy and Garrett all chose Inglourious Basterds as their best film. Garrett confusingly said Inglourious Basterds or Sin City, which
isn't a Tarantino.
It's a Tarantino walked on it, but it's not a Tarantino film. We had some shouts for Django Unchained.
Yeah.
Which I felt weird leaving off the list.
Yeah. It was one of those ones where I made my top 5 and I was like, how the fuck did I forget Django Unchained? But I couldn't fit it in.
I did struggle getting it off my list. Yeah, we had Pulp Fiction wrote in. Dylan McDonald claims that any answer except Pulp Fiction would be totally incorrect.
See, the thing about Pulp Fiction, saying Pulp Fiction is your favourite Tarantino film is like saying Wonderwall is your favourite Oasis song.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt about it.
It's kind of the everyman answer. No offence, Dylan.
I felt about it too, but
we love you.
I didn't think I could leave it off my 5 either.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no. I love it. It's brilliant, but it's...
It is. It's like saying Wonderwall is your favourite film.
It's like oversaturated. Kind of.
It's almost like you're the type of guy who says Citizen Kane's the best film ever. Like you're that kind of guy. Yeah, and then we just Inglourious Basterds, Pulp Fiction, and Django were the ones wrote in about.
Yeah. Joycer said Jackie Brown.
Oh yes, we forgot we had the Twitter as well.
I'm just checking that now.
I know Owen Waters wrote in too.
Yes, he said Kill Bill.
Kill Bill.
Yeah.
So yeah, all except Django really represented in our 5. So
yeah,
I think that's fair enough.
No one sent in with Death Proof, so I'm
no one wrote in with Death Proof
or The Hateful Eight.
Oh well, actually, now that you mention that now, Slugs has got on to me about The Hateful Eight. I think if we did a 5 with him, it would be in his top 3.
Yeah.
Because he jumped to defend it before I even said I didn't like it. He assumed I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I actually do really like The Hateful Eight.
I haven't rewatched it since
I haven't seen it since it came out either. But based on what I remember, I just can't bring myself to watch it. But based on what I remember, maybe that's a sign that it's not. I think it's a great film, but I don't think it's a great Tarantino film.
Fair, yeah.
Or maybe I just have a different opinion on Tarantino films. But yeah, so we'll do more lists like this in the future. Yeah. When we've more time. We kind of went on a tangent about Manson and it's dragged us out a little bit. David, where can the people find us and write in to us?
They can find us at 2 Men in a Pod on Instagram, 2 Men 1 Pod on Twitter, 2 Men in a Podcast on YouTube. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or 2 Men in a Podcast.
And if you want to write in,
just DM
feel free to either get us on Twitter, DM either of us, or if you're one of the 4 listeners that doesn't know us, feel free to write into 2menandapod@gmail.com with your opinions on whatever film we're doing, some recommendations, even just life questions. We take anything.
This podcast has been brought to you by B Sharp Music.
I was going to let you get to that at the end. Yeah, but B Sharp Music.
Yeah, our official sponsor of the podcast. If you want a guitar or a piano or the best triangles in Leinster right here.
Best triangles in Leinster.
And any purchase over €10, tell them we sent you and Ronan will give you a hand job. So
yes, please. So on that note, David, what film are we tackling next Sunday?
Well, next Sunday we are going to do John Carpenter's The Thing.
John Carpenter's The Thing, a much requested film before we even did it.
Yeah, that was our first.
We almost got bet over to start with. Yeah, we decided to go with yours, but we knew we'd have The Thing in our first cycle, and then we're going to change things up a little bit for week 5.
So what we're going to do is every 5 weeks, instead of covering a film or a TV show or something, what we're going to do is we're going to do a topic. So because it's Halloween coming up, we're going to do we start off with 10. Yeah, top 10 horror movies.
Kind of along the lines of what we did here with Tarantino, we're going to both do a top 10 list. We're not going to tell each other it. And because it'll be the basis of our episode, we'll go a lot more in depth about the films than we did here with, just because we're running out of time really with Tarantino. Yeah. But we'll keep it the same length pretty much. And as you know, I love a horror film, David. So I'm actually really excited. That episode will launch on the 25th, which is why we thought it was perfect
for Halloween to
do Halloween. Yeah. So we're going to finish with The Thing next on which is the 18th? Yeah, 18th, whatever. You know what it is.
No, it's it is the 18th.
The 18th, and then the 25th we're going to do our top 10 horror films. Feel free to write in at any stage to let us know about The Thing, and we'd love maybe your best horror film. Feel free to write in. We're going to leave it at that.
Yeah.
I've been Caolan.
I've been David.
And this has been 2 Men and a Podcast.
See you next week.